That's a
they
great story.
they they film all the practices today, which we didn't do in those days. But we would film some passing games and so on and so forth. So we built this stand. If you ever been to Oxford, we played in the middle of a field that the students were walking across our practice field. I mean, it was nothing like Ohio State or anything. And they built these towers up so they could take film. And so Bo says, one of the assistants was in charge of film. Jerry wasn't Jerry Wallford, I can't remember. Anyway, he says, do you have that film all ready to go? He says, we're ready to go to practice right now. He says, is that film guy ready to go? He says, well, Bo, he says, the regular film guy that does our film had to go away. And he says his assistant is up there and he knows what he's doing. And he says, are you sure he knows what he's doing? He says, oh yes. He says and this guy didn't know a football from a basketball. So so Bo gets everybody in the huddle and he gives them a passing, zip in on 3, and they get out and Bo's and the quarterback's going 87, and the guy up in the film says, hold it. And Bo says, what the hell's wrong with you? He says, you got to tell that one guy to move in. He says, I can't get him in the picture. And Bo threw his clipboard at him. And then another one, only other story, and I'll quit telling stories. We had a kicker, and Woody could always, a kicker is very important. And a kicker, if he gets hurt, if he hurts his arm, he can't kick. If he
Why is that? Why is that?
Because it throws his timing off. It throws everything off. When he hits, if he hurts his neck, he can't kick. If he hurts his shoulder, he can't. And Woody always, and Bo always thought a kicker should be tough. They should be in the middle of the battle and they can do it. But really, you keep the kicker out and just let him kick.
Yeah.
And so we had this kicker, and I can't remember his name, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And so at the end of practice, we go through the kicking, field goals and extra points. And so Bo says, okay, let's kick. Where's the kicker? Get over here. Let's get going here. And so he comes over and the guy kicks and misses it. He says, what the hell have you been doing the whole practice? He said, you should never miss one of those. He says, Coach, that guy on the left came too fast. He says, he rushed too fast. Both threw the clipboard at him. And then it's a true story. We're up at Ohio State watching Jimmy play. And I said, and this guy's name, it was McKnight. I can't remember his name. I said, well, hell, that's the same guy we had at Miami. And he says, yeah, he transferred from Miami. I said, oh my God, that's the guy that Bo threw the clipboard at. And he kicked off and he screwed up at Ohio State too, because I was at the game. He missed a couple points. And it was a true story too. But they were all like guys that stuff you remember, like Bobby Knight, like throwing the chair. I mean, these guys they had story after story of, you loved them to death, but they liked to do it on purpose too. I mean,